Okay, so it's been a while, I know. I haven't done an update on the truck. I've just been working a lot and throwing a lot of time and money into fixing things and forgetting to do do videos and updates. But here it is, out in the sunlight, out of the garage, ready to go. So far, the obvious thing, besides that I've done since the last video, is the antler up on the roof rack. I buy antlers for a living, so throwing a big antler like that up on top is just kind of my thing, I guess. I had to wire tie it up there so that the chance of anybody does take it, that they don't, or that they can't. Put that little sticker on there. I've replaced the EBP exhaust pressure regulator valve, and then the ICP was leaking oil, the sensor, so I replaced that. The studs on the rear, these spikes, the company I bought them from on eBay, I mean, I guess they're alright, but on the rear end here, I did have to put the original factory lug nuts on and then the spikes, just because the studs in the rear are bigger than the studs in the front, and all these lug nut spikes are the same size, so to compensate for that I had to put the original studs or lug nuts underneath the new ones. Also a local discount tire, which is where I got the Corsa all-terrains at. I had a blowout on the rear end. When I had the blowout, I went in, got the new tire put on, specifically told them that you have to put the factory lug nuts on, then the spikes on top of that. Needless to say, they didn't listen. They ran them on with an impact gun. Couldn't figure out why the spikes weren't going on all the way and they were still playing the rim. And I had to re-explain to them that the way I wanted it done, or the way that it needed to be done. And they ended up bending one of these spikes. They actually bent it to where it's not centered anymore. And I didn't realize it till the next day. And which this was back, God, probably 2 months ago now, a month and a half, 2 months ago. Well, anyways, they wouldn't replace it, or they offered for me to go down to my local AutoZone and they would buy new lug nuts for the truck. Well, you can't get these from AutoZone. You have to get them on eBay or from another company, and it's not that simple. Well, the other day, I just got these new, I just got these new shocks. This one I don't have the boot tied up yet, but I just got these KYB Monomax gas shocks for the front and back. And I was putting these on the other day, and I had to take the tires off, or I took the tires off to make it easier, and one of the studs was cracked that they had bent. So now I have to go in and get them to replace it, reimburse me for replacing the studs. And unfortunately you have to buy, for me, 32 of them. You can't just buy one. Another thing I've done so far is I put these pipe fittings on. Again, I'm going for that rat rod kind of apocalyptic look, so I haven't quite finished them up. I still have to drill the 2 holes on the back sides here. Let's see. I did have a local exhaust shop do the exhaust. We ran it 5-inch to the 7-inch down pipe. They were supposed to run it in between the cab and the bed and dump it right there. Well, they ran it all the way to the back. Not only did they run it all the way to the back, but they pointed it on my rear axle, which on a long trip like I make, that would have heated up my rear end and caused some serious issues. So I asked them to fix it and just dump it right in between the cab and the bed. They fucked it up again, excuse my language. They messed up the whole thing. So I cut it all off, paid $285 for this exhaust system to be on, and this is a well-known shop up here where I'm located. So I expected a hell of a lot better work than what I got. So it's just right there for now, just behind the transfer case. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'm going to go with the hood stack or if I'm going to cut a hole somewhere right here on the front panel and dump it out here, or dump it out the side of the bed on the passenger side. Let's see, what else have I done? So on the interior is a little dusty right now. So for the door handles, this door handle broke. So I went ahead and, I mean, you can't see it. You can't see it too well in this video. But I went ahead and got this rusted wrench, cleaned it up, heated it, bent it, and bolted it in there. This side is a wrench for right now. The other side is an extension. I'm gonna fix the other side eventually and make it a wrench too. Because I really like it. I did all the sanding on this truck. All these bare metal lines you see, I've done all those on purpose. Same with the front end, sanded it all to look this way. Halo headlights, light bar up front, light bar on the roof. Let's see. These damn emblems. I got them from the Emblem Warehouse online, and the lettering in here used to be all red. And the very first day I ever washed this truck after pulling it out of the garage, I was just going over everything lightly with a rag, detailing it, and the paint that's in here just peeled right out, both sides of the truck. So yeah, I've had some bad experience with not only the studs so far, but the emblems. At least they're clean and all chrome now, but I would have rather had the red lettering on the inside there. The side mirrors, eventually I'm going to go ahead and do tow mirrors. The tow mirrors I'll do are from the 2500 Chevy early 2000 late 90s model. So I have to make a bracket or buy a bracket that'll go right here and weld into the corner, and then the mirrors will mount right here and come out. Let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for now. Eventually the hood stack will go on, intercooler pipes, and who knows. Oh, I do have this little scoop. It's actually for a ventilation, but I'm going to get somebody to weld up and mock this out of metal, you know, a thicker metal than this little thin stuff, aluminum. But I want to force more air into the engine, so I'm going to block off the air filter